Here, Hi-Fi has rolled out another article, and guess what? This time they want to review the best cables, my friends, the best interconnect cables. And today we will analyze it and, of course, evaluate how adequate they are or if they are misguided. In general, what is the point of spending money on such extravagances, on some gold-plated connectors, on super cool shielding, when you can take a stock cable, the cheapest one, and seemingly get the best result? Is there a difference between this cable and that one? I will tell you that there is no difference if you are connecting to a kettle. But no, my friends, it doesn't work that way. Not everything in this world is that simple. Why? Because the cable is a highway, my friends, along which the signal travels from point A to point B. And RCA cables are not as important in the system as, for example, the power cable. Let's please discuss this topic. Write in the comments how misguided I am and why I am wrong. This is not as important a cable as the acoustic one, which in my opinion ranks second. Interconnect cables are somewhere around the third position because yes, they are important, but if you want to spend money somewhere, it's better to invest in a more or less decent source, good speakers, or a good amplifier. In any case, don't shortchange your system with anything less than a decent cable. However, Hi-Fi believes that this is an extremely important cable, and today we will look at their top picks. Friends, as we know, Hi-Fi is an English source of information, and of course it is on trend because it is maximally tolerant. Another review is being done by a young girl. Last time we had an Indian woman, and this time, judging by her appearance, she is an English woman. Becky Roberts, the editor-in-chief. Let's listen to who she is, where she has such experience in reviewing cables, and evaluate her from all sides. Becky speaks. I have been writing about Hi-Fi for over 10 years and have spent years in our modern testing centers. Daily, I consider everything from high-quality stereo amplifiers to entry-level players, and I have heard the difference that poor and high-quality audio cables make in the system. I am not exaggerating when I say that they, the cables, can make or break a system of any caliber. So I cannot strongly recommend enough that you pay attention to the cables in your system, including the speaker cables. It's strange, maybe I translated something incorrectly or Becky Roberts is a bit unclear in her thoughts. Please correct my comment. Having tested all three cables on this page, I am confident that one of them will suit most people and fit their budget. However, before making a purchase, be sure to read our review to ensure that its specifications match those of your system. Well, I agree here, friends. Where would we be without a review? Here's the Hi-Fi. And the first cable, an award winner, the best in terms of price-to-quality ratio, is the interconnect cable that we tested, which works across a wide range of systems. The cord company C-Line, I've known about this company for quite a while, around 12 years. I had their cables, and I remember even trying to solder them. They are decent English cables with good quality, but in my opinion, their prices are a bit inflated. A distinctive feature is that they have always been made in England. I still remember that the distributor of this company was 3 International. I bought many different entry-level and mid-range cables, tested them, and saw that yes, they really do differ. But court never appealed to me, and I always, understood on a subconscious level that when you pick it up, you are overpaying. And it is strange for me to see this company C-Line as the best in terms of price-quality ratio. What reasons were there to place it? It helps connect the instruments together, enhancing dynamics and musicality. And the downsides, more affordable competitors offer more significant improvements. It's interesting like this, friends. So you put it in first place for price-to-quality ratio, while noting in the cons that competitors offer more significant improvements at roughly the same price. How exactly does that really work, friends? I'll say this. There are cables like Tonvinar that the Chinese have started making. I'm not a fan of this brand, and I don't like Chinese cars, but the audio equipment from the Middle Kingdom is really of great quality. So, their cables are genuinely cool, friends. They cost around 10,000, and look at the functionality they offer. When you hold them in your hands, you realize that, yes, this cable is worth its price. It absolutely delivers. You can feel that it justifies every ruble. It looks good and sounds decent. Look at these connectors. This one is plastic, and this one is metal. You might say that you can buy a Volgala on AliExpress for 10,000 rubles, but it's still not the same. I tested them and I can say that they sound mediocre, but regarding this particular cord, it's definitely a no. I do not agree with the hifi VOD, and I would never install this cable in my system for my hard-earned money. Let's move on. Next up is QED. It received a score of 5. It's a cheap but very convenient cable. I've known QED for a long time, friends. These are good cables. I like them much more than QWERT. But you see, what's the deal? Where there is QED, there is also WireWorld. Therefore, it makes no sense to buy a QED for about the same money, when you can buy an American WireWorld. And I would like to draw your attention, let's say, to give you a heads up that the next cable will also be English, it will also be a cord. It turns out that hifi once again seems to be favoring its manufacturers because there are much more interesting cables available. Of course, we won't buy Nordos for that kind of money, but again, there's AudioQuest. And after all, there's ToneWinner, my favorite wire word. So what's the catch, friends? And what are the advantages? Rich sound, good detail, impressive dynamics. Well, overall, I agree, yes, QED has quite an interesting quality sound. Pressure, strangely enough, in their cables. I don't know how they manage it, but there is such a trait. But overall, it's always a little less than that of the competitors. And the downsides. More acceptable competitors offer more significant improvements. Déjà vu, or are they writing roughly the same thing as about the Corp? How can this be? Again, why are you placing him at the top when competitors offer more improvements for the same money? It's completely unclear. What kind of ranking is this? And this is hifi, friends. This is a top English magazine. I think they are just writing nonsense. The third position is the cord company Clearway, an analog of the Cords 2022. These advanced audio cables will definitely help your system unleash its full dynamics, and it is worth it. $165 on Amazon. Damn, another English cable. Cord. By the way, don't confuse it, there's also a company. Damn, that makes cool amplifiers. Their chief designer once developed black boxes for airplanes. They have space-age amplifiers, the kind that are glowing, with such interesting screens. By the way, they also have some cool DACs and headphone amplifiers, but that's a different story. They have absolutely nothing to do with this cord that makes the cable. So, what are the advantages we have? Open, nuanced, clear sound, excellent sense of timing, works with a wide range of setups. Cons, minor update compared to the previous version. The more expensive new version Clearway X-Array, the father's equivalent, is even better. Friends, no way, not at all. This cable, I listened to it, it doesn't compare at all to the Wire World. Not at all. Just not at all. Even the affordable version of Luna, which I consider to be top-notch in its segment, is not that expensive. Let's even take a look at how much the Y-Word Luna costs. I found the Moon, hifi, reviewed it in its time and gave it a score of 4. This is how our opinions differ from that girl. Do you know what advantages he had? Accurate organized sound, good detail, but the downsides are soft bass and rhythm that is below the leaders in its class. But I completely disagree because the Moon is bending this guy over without any chance, friends. And our adversaries from England indeed think otherwise. In summary, I consider the rating of hifi to be nonsense that is absolutely not worth your attention. All the cables that are in their top list do not stand up to criticism, friends. There you have it, the English women. What do you think? Do you believe them or not?